You know, every now and then, I think you might like to hear something from us. Nice, easy. There's just one thing. You see, we never, ever do nothing. Nice, easy. We always do it nice, rough. But we're going to take the beginning of this song and do it easy. But then we're going to do the finish. Rough. The way we do. Proud Mary. And we're rolling. Ooh, rolling. Ooh, rolling on the river. Listen to the story. Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never 1 minute of sleep. And I was worried about the way that things might have been. That big wheel keep on turning. Primary keep on burning. And we're rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. Ain't a lot of places in Memphis. I pumped a lot of change in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of the city until I hitched a ride on the riverboat queen. Big wheel keep on turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. And we're rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. Say we're rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. The river.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tina Turner, Proud Mary. She stopped working for the man to get involved in Web 3. That's the dream. That is the dream right there, right? And that's the dream I'm living. It's the dream I'm living. So shout out to my sponsors, Crypto Slam, ENS Maxis, and Domain Plug, right? So I just want to get this thing started today. That song got me pretty hyped up, actually. And the first thing I want to get started with, I probably should have pinned it first. I remember when we first started doing this show a little while ago, and every cell almost we would bring it up. Any cell, probably over 10s, we would bring it up, and we will say the vision's coming to life. And I love this tweet by Jesus.eth. He said, I love the way big ENS cells don't get much attention anymore. The community clearly expects regular 50 to 100 ETH sales from here on out. We barely talk about sales outside of the weather report. Nobody brings it up. Emoji, like there's some really big sales yesterday, and it didn't faze anybody. And I think that shows maturity and growth within this community. Because I guarantee you, we had a day like we had yesterday, like the last 2 days. We had that, let's say, back in May, before the 100K club was even minted out back in April. Man, it would have been breaking news, and we could have probably hosted a space for 5 hours just talking about the activity that happened the last 2 days. But I'll keep it moving right along from there. The first one I want to talk about is pretty quick. This is not directly related to ENS, but it's directly related to ENS. Polygon partners with over partnerships over the last 12 months. DraftKings, Starbucks, Disney's, Mercedes, Meta, Reddit. Like that's what adoption looks like, right? This is what adoption looks like. So we always say it. We always say it. First comes wallet adoption. Matter of fact, NFT I think you might need to get that phrase as the ENS domain, right? Because he's the first one I heard ever say it. And if anybody else gets it, I'm going to be pissed. Besides NFT verse, first comes wallet adoption. Next comes the ENS adoption, or whatever you want to put. ENS crazy, ENS bull run. But we have to get more people using wallets first. We have to get more people understanding what crypto wallets are. And Polygon is doing a good job paving the way and leading that charge. Soy.eth. I don't think you understand how crazy it is. ENS has way more utility. Uh, no, my bad. I'm all over the place. It does have way more utility. I don't think you understand how crazy that ENS has more volume than .com, which it does over the past several weeks and months. And last but not least, the best for last. This is the best for last piece I'm going to say before I pass the mic over to our co-host. Uh, NFTverse says today's advice: alpha isn't always alpha, and I want you to really take that to consideration. I want you to really, really let that seep in, because in this market, especially right now, especially when things slow down a bit, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to distract you. Now, if you have the massive amount of liquidity, by all means, get it as distracted as you want to get distracted, because you got the liquidity to support the distractions. But if you don't have massive amounts of liquidity, like Golden Bezos, which I think many of us are nowhere near Golden Bezos, I advise you stay hyper focused on what you believe in, right? Because the truth is, you can't catch everything. You just simply can't catch everything. You won't be able to hop on every play. You won't be able to hop on every wave. You're going to miss some things, which is fine. But if you have conviction in what you're minting out or what you're buying on secondary market, don't feel bad or don't get distracted if other trends are pumping before what you had conviction in pumps first, or is getting more attention than what you mentioned or what you talked about first. Now let's not get this twisted out either. There could be that what you minted just probably isn't good, or what you brought on second day is probably isn't good. And I learned that this weekend when I went shopping, that a lot of domains people think are grail or think are good, in my opinion, aren't really that good. So there's two ways to look at this. There's several ways to look at this, but my thing is just stay hyper focused. Alpha isn't always alpha. Don't just run and follow every shiny object that there is, trying to chase quick liquidity. I'm gonna tell you what the liquidity is. The liquidity is in the digits. That's where the liquidity is. You want liquidity, get in and out of digit positions. Everything else, I think, you should be holding for the longer term. But this is just my opinion. Like I said, this is just Kev's strategy. Um, but I look forward to having a discussion today. We have a special guest with us today, Sad AF, aka Sadaf. She's going to be joining us from the ENS Vision team today. I did an interview with Sadaf right before the hurricane. The hurricane kind of pushed everything back, but we'll be releasing that very, very soon. But I'm happy to have her here today, so you guys can get to see more of her personality, what she's doing for the NFT community. I should say the ENS community, and we'll go from there. But before we do that, let's go over to our co-host, Master Ron. Is probably getting ready to head on his vacation, so he won't be with us for a couple of weeks. But that is fine. We have some A1 players here ready to step up and fulfill that role. But Master, man, good evening. Love having you here, brother. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone, and welcome, Sadaf, to this space. And I think Kev just mentioned something very interesting about the liquidity. Yes, in the economy, we have an impossible triangle, which is profit, safety, and liquidity. And none of the investment stuffs can meet all these three, elements. And if we compare ENS investment with something very popular, investment targets, such as for example, the the easiest, the bank deposit, something between 1 to 3% annually, right? And next level is something like the bond fund. So the government bond or the local government, the bond is something I think it should be between 4 to 5 or 5 to 6, percent annually. And the most highly risky, usually investment target is, I think, is stock. So long term wise looking, stock or stock funds should be targeting for something like 10 to 15%. But we always keep in mind that the higher the profit, estimated profit is, then the higher the safety, or the higher the your money can go below the original amount. Yeah, so that's how it works. And for ENS, this is something very interesting. It will never give you a very fixed rate of the interest, or some profit. And and at the meantime, on the contrary, it will charge you, every year the renewal expense. So that's why I keep explaining to all the ENS friends that ENS is not an asset. Indeed, it's a liability, because if you buy a stock, you are buying in the future of a company. So the company is working, the company is functioning, the company is adding value. All employees inside is creating something that it will feed themselves, and give you some share for the interest. But ENS, at the same time, it is not like functioning like that. It will ask you to pay the renewal expense, and the longer you play, technically, the longer you have to pay, to the whole, DAO, or the whole renewing matrix. But why we still all here with playing ENS? I believe there are two kind of people that will have a need to register or procure ENS names. First kind of is really, we need some ENS names to associate to our wallet, so that when I do need others to wire money to me, I will be able to proudly share that ENS name instead of that very long hash. And I will find that to be a very cool, plus a very secured, and no vulnerable issue, the way for sharing my crypto address. In most cases, that we call utility. I need to use it, that's why I need it. And second is, maybe I want to buy in a very low price. I want to buy this name with 5 E's, and I plan to sell it with maybe 100 E's 5 years or 10 years later. So if we change that vision, for example, 10 times or 20 times within 5 or 10 years, then annual looking, if we put that back to annual looking wise, then yeah, it can easily beat any kind of the stock we play. But at the meantime, we please do remember that impossible triangle, and that is no liquidity, right? Profit, yes, and safety, yes. Liquidity, no. So for ENS, it's the very interesting thing that the very rich people, he say, I want to buy $1 million worth of ENS names. It is very difficult for the according actions to really operate exactly like that, except for he buy the ENS DAO token. But that token is a different thing. It's not like domain, which is very charming for different people on different price. But DAO token is really buying a future of the the whole community, of the whole voting system. And that's definitely another story. So yeah, that's why domain investment is the most tricky, and most charming, and most need the best of the tactics ever. So always keep in mind that don't do too much with the names, because I see a lot of very long portfolios that DM me, let me check his OpenSea account, and see any names if interested, if we can negotiate anything like that. But yeah, I see a lot of long you know accounts. But that means when the time comes, usually they do it by some certain week or months together. But when, like for example, 1 year passed and lots of 3 and 4 digits, they are really going to suckle their liquidity, and makes them have a choice whether or not to let go of them, or you just pay another maybe 160 or $5 to renew it. It would be very painful decision to make. That's why I kind of foresee that by April 2023, which is kind of a 6 months to go, there will be a lot of 3 and 4 digits being facing similar issues, because we know that I think 40% of the 3 digits and 95% plus of the 4 digits was registered by April this year at the same month. So these kind of the names, so many names, their owners will face a choice whether or not to sell to the floor with today's liquidity price, or I have to pay another 640 US dollar, try to bet a longer run. A or B, yeah, because it is domain. It is not like a crypto punk. It is not like no renewal expense, any kind of NFT. So it is slightly different. But if we really believe that, even we hold it with us for a couple longer time, it will still be super valuable for us, because this looks great and it can help us as wire money to us easily. And moving forward, maybe in the next 1 year or 2 years, it will be more and more, you know, as occasion, or kind of the scenarios that people wire cryptocurrency to others more and more. Right now we already do, but I don't think this is the mainstream yet. We still have a mountain to climb. First is we need more crypto addresses at first place, because I think very few percentage of the whole 7 billion population in this world owns a crypto wallet. Second is even more people own a wallet. They need to have a Ethereum wallet, and they need to wire money to each other. Right now, I don't think it is the case. Most people, they just simply buy the cryptocurrency via OTC on the centralized exchange, and then they deposit it in their own decentralized wallet, and that's it. As they want to keep it and they want to sell it back to the decentralized, or the sell back to the centralized you know uh, exchange someday, if the Bitcoin get to some level. This is their plan, but that means these users, these majority of the guys, still doesn't have long-term vision to crypto. They don't know where the next stop is. So I believe we know, because as the Ethereum community, as the ENS community, IPFS community, we know why Web3 will be something new. We know what next 10 years will look like. So yeah, so that's why we are all convinced that this lane of ENS is something very interesting, because as we know, stock investment is 10 to 15%, but ENS, imagine if you buy a name today at 10 ETH, then our vision should be at least something 10 times versus today's price, and achieve that within 3 years. This should be some ROI. Otherwise, it doesn't worth us to do it. We buy 10 grail names, we can only sell 1 to 2 names with the expected price. That's waiting time, and that's vision, long-term vision versus the cost we put. It is really high. The opportunity cost is really high. So always keep in mind that domain investments. Please do not all in. Do not put all the money that you need to work, you need to live, you need to daily use inside, because this is really a long-term game. We definitely need very very strong faith and patience in the whole way to make it through. We need to wait till the perfect buyer, till the ones that this name works perfect for them, they cannot live without the name to show up. Then we will have the celebrate moment. But 99% is not that moment. So yeah, always don't all in with the ENS names, and because domain, it is something special. It does not have liquidity. Always remember the impossible triangles. There is no such perfect thing in this world ever. Even someone tell you so, then they are nothing but a cheater. Don't believe them. Okay, there are no free pay cake or pie in the world. Even if there is, we don't believe it. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys all had a great day. I hope you guys have a great journey on ENS. Any questions, feel free to share. And yeah, thanks much, Kev, for hosting this great space as ever. Thanks much, guys.
Bombs to my man, to the OG master. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to pay respect and homage to the OG, the guy who's been here grinding it out, believed in the vision before you even know what crypto was. I highly suggest that you give this space a retweet, and that will make Master very, very happy for all the alpha bombs that he just dropped to you guys. Let's go right over to the NFT verse. Our other co-host verse does have an in-life work meeting today, so I wanted to get to him very quickly. Verse, you're filling in big shoes for our man Master, brother. So I'm very proud of you for getting to this level. You earned this role as co-host of ENS Updates, and I think you'll do a phenomenal job filling that role, man. How you doing today, brother?
Kev, Kev. First of all, I'm coming off the bench. When I come off the bench, I know usually bench players don't get that much playing time, but when you're the sixth man on the ENS update show, you show up. You show up and you show out. That's what I'm doing today, Kev. I'm showing up and I'm showing out. I'm coming off the bench. I'm shooting number threes. That's all I'm doing is I'm shooting threes today. So anybody who knows basketball, that's what I'm doing today. GM5159, I appreciate you as always, bro. Staying consistent with the ENS update show. Master as a co-host. My guy Ron, not here today, but here in spirit, man. And we appreciate both of the co-hosts, Ron and Master. And when you combine the three together, man, it's like the big three on the basketball team with Kev, Ron, and Master. So I appreciate you guys, man, and I'm here to fill in and do whatever I can. I see 260 Ethan here, Daniel, Gary P as always, Sadaf. Sadaf, I like when Kev said your name this morning, and he said sad AF. It reminded me of one of my domains. I have Ape AF. So that's what that reminded me of. I see Braylon in here, 3402, my girl 3402, Mafiko, E Money, ENS Maxis, Crypto Slam, just giving everybody some love while I'm in here, Mr. 121, it looks like. Yeah, so here's the thing I want to touch on, Kevin. You said this, uh, in the beginning, you kind of quoted, something that I posted this morning. Sometimes I go through things in the morning and I think, and it's part of me kind of relaxing my mind because Twitter, when you're in Twitter and you're in this thing all the time, sometimes your brain can be going 1,000 miles per hour. And sometimes you kind of have to sit back and meditate to a certain extent to try to block some things out so you're not, highly distracted, right? So when I posted that post this morning, I said, alpha isn't always alpha. And, I think that term is used a little loosely, in crypto Twitter. And sometimes we got to really take time out and do our due diligence. And that's why I posted that this morning is that some of us, what we got to start doing is not just taking the word of someone, but doing your own due diligence and doing your research. When you see those posts when it says DYOR, do your own research. It's not just a hashtag. I mean, you got to really go out there and dig a little bit and be a little bit more strategic when you're in this space. So, that's why I posted that this morning. I just want the community to understand, man, do your homework. Take time out. This is real money you're spending out here. This is not monopoly money where you can close up the box and put the money back in and take it out the next day. It doesn't work like that. That money is gone. So this is an investment that you guys are thinking about. Kev, you touched on wallet adoption this morning, and it's something that we've always touched on in the very beginning of these spaces because we know that is where the true masses come in is with wallet adoption. And I picture wallet adoption and I picture this whole entire journey like puzzle pieces, right? Anytime you go to the store and you buy a puzzle, and you dump it out on the table and you start putting it together, you try to find that one piece that is that centerpiece to build from, right? And the centerpiece here in ENS is the community. So then things start to come together once you start to find the other pieces. When you have the community and the community has a foundation and it's strong, then you start putting the other pieces together. Then you find oh wow, here's a framework of ENS. Let's connect that to the centerpiece of the community. Oh, okay, here's some wallet. Here's the wallet piece. Here's the utility. Okay, here's the media exposure. Here's the influencers. These are all the pieces that start to connect to build that ENS ecosystem that we're looking to really see the fruition come to place. For me, guys, I try to think outside the box a lot, right? I try to think past where we're at so that I can make sure I get ahead of things, right? And sometimes you'll see me drop posts, and maybe you don't pay attention to them, but I'll drop posts every now and then, and I think that some of those posts that I can always go back to later on and see that they've come to fruition. And don't ask me, how I do it or what's going through my mind at the time when I do it. But, I just call it being connected with a certain energy in this space. And I try to be as real as possible in anything that I post because I want the community to be aware. I want everybody to have a certain level of awareness when you're out here playing this game. And number one, I want to say that I appreciate everybody tapping in this morning. I'm going to do my best to be the best co-host ever on the Twitter Spaces in the entire world. We'll see if that happens, but I'm going to try my best. So I look forward to the conversation today, man. And Kev, thanks as always, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. And the Tvers be dropping some quote unquote alpha in his tweets. Y'all show him some love, man. Let's keep the show moving right along here. We have guys. I'm very excited for today's episode. Just if you're a listener, just take this look at who's on the speakers on stage. Right, we have some great people, and I want to hear from everybody. We're going to get to everybody. So just be patient with me. We're going to get to everybody. We have about an hour left in this show, so let's keep the train moving right along here. I do think I want to go first to 1261, aka Mafiko. My man's Mafiko. How you doing today, brother?
Yo, what's good, guys? What's good? Yeah, doing good, Kev. Just at work right now, but just finished teaching for the day. So, yeah, excited for this spaces. Always excited to chat all things ENS. I have there's a post I wanted to talk about today. I just actually saw a report that came out yesterday from Citibank, large bank, global bank. They, in terms of metaverse opportunities, and they're saying now this is probably the most optimistic report I've seen on Web3. They say that the metaverse could be worth between 8 to 13 trillion by 2030. Nuts. Like, that's insane. And what I like about this report, they've gone into some specifics here. They've pinpointed 8 or so use cases, or actually more than that, 11 use cases. But looking at all these use cases, every single thing here is related to ENS, right? They're saying here that one of the use cases will be virtual workspaces, right? Imagine subdomains, right? Everybody, if you're in the metaverse, ENS is the foundation. You're going to need to have an ENS name in order to be able to actually engage in those virtual workspaces. If we're talking about the metaverse and sort of Web3 technology being used, they speak a lot about digital entertainment events. They talk about virtual advertising. I think that's one we often haven't spoken about enough in this space. I think the Web2 model with Google and how AdWords work right now has worked. But I'm looking beyond Google, right? What's going to be the next iteration of advertising in a Web3 world? What is that going to look like? I think it's going to be interesting to see how ENS names potentially can play a role in advertising. Domain names, one of the values of those was that in the early days is that if you had a domain name, you could direct traffic. Traffic could be directed to those specific names and you could earn passively off that domain. Now, what does that look like in Web3? It's too early to tell now. But the fact that they've highlighted that virtual advertising and new ad platforms will be something of interest, I think is something for us to bear in mind. So it may not just be, my thoughts on ENS has always been, it's not just identity and community, but there are other really interesting use cases that we just are so early right now that it's hard to determine. I put a poll up on my profile yesterday, and I asked everybody, how much do you think carprices.eth is worth? Right? And everybody, the majority, the consensus right now is that it's worth less than 1 ETH. And I would agree with that assessment. In this current market, carprices.eth is worth less than 1 ETH. Now, in a world where we start talking about virtual advertising, we start talking about these other new Web3 models around advertising, that is a different conversation that can be had at that point in time. Again, it's too early to tell. But yeah, Kev, this report was really great. I will summarize it and post it when I can. But very bullish for ENS, and it's just good to see another big corporation, global corporation, coming out and taking this Web3 or metaverse thing seriously. We are, buckle up. We're exactly where we need to be.
I think the beauty of this, Mafiko, is that I can't wait to see you put up the review on this. But I think the beauty of this is these guys, these corporations, they're spending, one, their reputation is on the line before they drop any of these articles or they release anything. They actually have real reputation, real clients, real customers, so forth and so on, that is on the line. So they're not just going out and releasing BS. One, I think the beauty is that these big guys are actually looking into the future and have researchers looking into the future and saying, hey, these are our estimates of where we think this thing is going. Now, the thing is, they're not the only ones saying this. They're not the only researchers out there that's saying. There's multiple other people or multiple other big corporations going out and saying the same exact thing. So I look forward to the report, man, and I think that's great. The digital identity is the foundation of the metaverse, aka ENS is going to be the foundation of this thing. Believe it or not. Appreciate that, bro. Whenever you do get that done, feel free to pin that to the top. Let's keep the show moving right along here. We have Sadaf on stage with us, and I think it's time to pass the mic over to Sadaf. Sadaf, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in from the West Coast of the United States. How you doing today?
GM Kev, thanks for having me. I'm doing well. I just poured myself a cup of tea, getting the day started. I'm usually like well into working by now. So it's really nice actually to just be on a space and like socializing for a minute before I have to dive in. But I'm really happy that you asked me to be here because since I started working for Vision, I haven't had much time to kind of do anything else. So this is a good little change up for me. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to speak to all of you guys and kind of re-engulf myself with a little bit of normalcy and what's going on in the ENS community and, you know, kind of boots on the ground style.
Awesome, awesome, great. I'm happy that you're doing good. I'm happy that you got to tune in. How is I guess what we all want, because Vision has done a phenomenal job, right? Vision has done a great job, and I kind of want to show the community, introduce the community more behind the scenes of what actually goes on at Vision. So if you want to talk about your experience with ENS Vision, I think we'll love to hear it as well.
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I started working for Vision about a month and a half ago. It's still very fresh, but you guys know as well as I do that, you know, the ENS community, a month and a half in the ENS community feels like a year and a half. So there have been a lot of crazy improvements since I came on. You know, we've been releasing new features and we have an interim category solution that we're going to be testing out just to see how it goes. And you know we're trying to slowly improve on all of the feedback that we get from the community. You know, we have a very small team. It's like 5 or 6 core people on the team, so all of us are working like 12 hours a day minimum. But it's been, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much my dream job. And with my dream company, I mean, who doesn't know and love Vision if you're in this space? So I started out, as many of you guys know, just as a user. And you know, we actually had the opportunity to host Furion and Zero. Shout out Zero, I see him down there. For when the marketplace released, and things just grew from there. I mean, I really, really loved the platform, and I had this amazing opportunity to start working for them. So I'm just trying to kind of prove my worth, find my place, make sure that I'm outputting everything that, like all the kind, things that I'm hearing back. Like I just want to make sure that I am doing everything that I can so that it's all deserved. But we do work incredibly as a team. I'm like so happy with the people that I work with. I think it's very few and far between that you speak to anybody who really genuinely loves their job. Um, and while I have the mic, I just like want to let everybody know, um, I know sometimes like sustainability in this space is really difficult, but a year and a half, into my crypto NFT ENS journey, it finally happened. And I know that seems like a really long time, but I promise you it's totally worth it. So to anybody out there that's like looking to get a job in Web3, keep trying. I highly encourage it. Just make yourself notice, make the right connections, network, reach out to people. You never know who you might be just kind of rubbing shoulders with, especially when you have tools like this where you can hop on a Twitter space and get to know people on a more personal level. So I just, recommend planning ahead, bringing your A game, and just, keep trying, keep that tenacity and stuff. And you will eventually get there. I have a lot of hope for this whole community. And as we grow, more jobs will open up and stuff. So
That is real, and I think I kind of made a tweet about that yesterday. The opportunity in this space right now is unreal. We're literally living in probably a once in a lifetime opportunity in humanity, and there's so much out there to do in Web3. There's so much opportunities to create, to partner, to work, whatever it is, and if you actually are seeking that, you will find it, right? Just become somebody, and this is the biggest thing I learned from being in this space. Become somebody worth following, become somebody worth hiring, right? And then if you make yourself become that person, which is probably going to take some time, but if you do that, then the opportunities will come banging at your door. Sadaf, what is next for ENS Vision? I know you guys been doing a lot. You guys are always innovating and improving. What do you say is the next goals are yeah, I would say goals for the ENS Vision team.
yeah, I can't speak too much about long term goals, but short term wise, we are going to be heading out to Portugal soon. We're going to be at the Web3 Summit out there in Lisbon. It's one of the largest web summits in the world. So we are going to try our best to get the good word of ENS out there, make sure that everybody knows about it. I think right now our goal is building a really strong community and growing that community as big as we can. So we want to do everything in our power kind of to expand on that and to give as much light to ENS as possible. We are in a really great position right now where ENS is still really young and it's still really malleable. So it just is a matter of marketing it correctly, of making sure people can understand it, and getting that mass adoption on its way. Beyond that, we want to keep providing you guys with the best features where we have like new ideas all the time. People are just bouncing things back and forth. We also take a lot of feedback from the community. As a lot of you guys know, I'm managing the Twitter account. So, every time that you guys DM us or tweet at us and say, hey, it would be great if you guys have this, I'm usually taking that information, if it's a really good idea, back to our internal Discord and letting people know. And we're kind of like chewing it out. So, people, I think, don't realize that we're like 5 months old. So it's still really, really young. But I'm so proud. I can't take any of the credit, but I'm so proud of my team members and just the whole Vision team, for how far they've brought things so far. And I mean, if you look at how young we really are, 5 months, in a year and a half from now, I mean, there's absolutely no ceiling to our growth, especially as things start to grow just in general with the ENS community. So I can say we are up for the challenge. And, I hope that we continue to make the community proud.
Love that. Love that. Uh, and shout out to Theory and Zero Zero in the audience. I see y'all. Much love and respect to y'all as well. And this is why I want to do this. And I think it's important that we continue to support Vision. We continue to support Domain Plug. We continue to support Crypto Slam. These guys are natives. They're in the community every single day, building, working, grinding. And you have to respect that and you have to support that. And I agree, where you guys will be in a year from now, or yeah, in years' time, is going to be absolutely astronomical. Because I just remember before Vision was even a marketplace. Guys, I don't think you guys might take Vision for granted, but I was there before Vision was even a marketplace. Some of you guys could say that, some of you guys can't say that. And you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, especially back when you were trying to mint 4 digits or buy 4 digits and 5 digits and things of that nature. Vision came in clutch. So I do want to keep it moving with final words from Sadaf, at least for your segment, is what do you want to leave the audience with? What thought and inspiration do you kind of want to leave us with?
Yeah, thanks for giving me an opportunity. I think the most important thing that I want to just kind of mention is to budget yourself. Like it's been said a couple of times already, this is an investment and not all investments are liquid. Most investments are not going to be liquid. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you can afford to be patient with it. It is going to take some time for us to grow. We are still relatively small. If you think about even just uh, the amount of people on Twitter, like in this space, like there are a lot of people in this space, but you know relative to maybe like even an NFT space or something, like we're very very small still. So just be careful with what you're buying. Don't follow hypes. Always do your own research. Make sure that you're making smart decisions, and try your best not to overinvest. I know it's really difficult, but try your best not to. And yeah, just keep a lookout for Vision and what we're going to be doing. Make sure that you're participating in the voting process so we can kind of get a good test run of that to see how it works out. If you guys aren't familiar with it yet, we did post the thread a couple of days ago on the Vision page, so you can find it there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just want to give a shout out also to my team members, the ones that are listening and the ones that are not. Furion, Zim, Shuka, LCFR, Acadian, Zero. So all the team. Shout out to you guys, because I would not be in this position myself, just in the ENS ecosystem, if it wasn't for Vision. So yeah, so much appreciation for you guys, and then also thank you guys who are on stage here for doing this every single day. It is such a crazy level of commitment to wake up every day and hop on a space. So Kev, like, all of the props to you. You are absolutely crushing it.
Thank you, Sadaf. It's a dream come true to do this, and that dream is coming true because we have sponsors like ENS Maxis, a 10K PFP ENS collection that is actually building and supporting the ENS community. Right? That's what the Maxis are about. The Maxis are on stage. So if you're here and you're not following the Maxis, and they've been sponsoring this space for a while now, shame on you. So I suggest that you give the Maxis a follow. You go ahead and I want to give a huge shout out also to Domain Plug. Domain Plug is another ENS marketplace that is out there building, grinding, supporting the community as well. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to Crypto Slam, a data aggregation company, who's our latest sponsor. So, Sadaf, thank you so much for that. I think what you guys are doing at Vision is great. You guys are always welcome on the stage for updates. Of course, that's what the name is, ENS Updates. And yeah, I look forward to continued discussion with you and Zero and Furion at any time. With that, go ahead.
I was just gonna say thank you. Yeah, the whole Vision team really, really appreciates you, Kev. So we would be happy to be back, and next time I'll try to bring Furion or someone else along with me.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And with that being said, we'll go from one queen to another queen with the weather report for the day.
GM, happy Thirsty Thursday. Kev, Master, Verse, I hope he's still in here. Community, it's been a long week and I'm very thirsty, so I will jump right into the weather, brought to you by Crypto Slam. Top 24-hour categories, triple ETH emojis. Degens are paying attention and packing their bags. This club hitting those high temps with a 410% increase in daily volume, pushing the floor price up another 8% to 0.69. Might be worth jumping on, but you better be quick if you want those grails. Triple Coldface is never selling, not from his cold dead diamond hands. The 10K Club, both volume and floor price in the green and bringing in over 50 ETH in the last 24 hours. The floor sitting at 2.5 ETH and currently only 4,069 owners. If you have a 4-digit, you most likely have more. That's what the numbers say. Unfortunately, not what my wallet says. Single ETH emojis cooling down in volume, but a steady floor at 1.6 ETH and a top offer of 3 ETH. With a total supply of 1,327, only 411 owners, the emoji sharks are hungry. 100K Club, a lot of volume, not much floor action with a top offer of 3.35 ETH and a floor of 0.063. Currently, many falling off premium with a low carry cost of $5 a year. There is your daily dose of alpha. Top 24-hour sales, 823.e sold for 36.2 ETH, just above floor. The next three sales, all base emojis, all dope. Base lady with her favorite tool in hand, sold for 19 ETH. The ball handling juggler balling out at 18 ETH. And triple party face emoji getting ready for the Friday night happy hour and ready for some drinks, sold for 15 ETH. Other notable sales, we have James Bond.e sold for 5 ETH. And I gave my guy Novax a heads up. He is now fully loaded with his squirt gun JB emoji combo, just waiting for that 10 ETH offer. The negative 999 club flying off the market. Negative 911.ETH selling for a positive 4.20 ETH. And negative 300 selling for Pi. Yes, that is 3.14 ETH. And an impressive 99 club sale, negative 99 club sale, negative 37.E sold for a whopping 7 ETH. Additional news per Crypto Slam, they have a new homepage featuring blockchain sorting of both top NFT and top collection sales. So check it out at cryptoslam.io. The ENS Maxi is still sitting at a consistent floor price at 0.05, but very few listed at 8% listings. That is a wrap for today's forecast. Stay hydrated and enjoy this beautiful day. As always in ENS. Thanks, Kev.
And there we have it. That is the weather report from 3402. Thank you for coming on and always doing a phenomenal job with that. Appreciate you. Appreciate Crypto Slam. And ladies and gentlemen, I do want to point this back over to Crypto Slam real quick because the other day I went on their platform. I went on their platform the other day and I ended up getting, I think I bought like 4 or 5, probably like 10 domains. I think I bought 10 domains from their platform, basically for free. Believe it or not, I bought these things basically for free. They're like 1 cent, 2 cents, 10 cents, and I think they're pretty decent domains. I got 5 NBA Hall of Famers. I got 2 dog breeds, an English Irish Terrier, and another dog breed I got. And I got some anime related domains. Uh, some animated related Yeah, I got some animated related domains. And basically what happens is they list them on their platform and it drops in price every day. And I guess it dropped so far in price that they dropped to like a couple cents. And they were just sitting there, and I'm like, oh shit, I know for a fact these are probably worth something a little bit more in the future. So definitely check out Crypto Slam's platform dropping now. I think it's a cool platform. I think I swept up all the good shit on there, to be honest. But you could still probably list something on there. Let's keep it moving right along here. We have Ron. Ron back from the fucking dead on stage. What's good, Ron?
Well, if you travel these days, just realize that cancellations and delays have become the norm. They wanted to leave me in Amsterdam for 6 days. So I had to rebook through France, fly separate from my friends, and show up to the airport 5 hours early. So flew out of bed at 5 a.m. and I just went through security and on my way to Atlanta here in a bit. So that's what's up.
Whoa. That sounds like a ride, right? That sounds like the roller coaster we typically are on in the ENS community. But you're right. You're good though, right? Yeah. When will you be at your destination?
Yeah, I'll still be there exact same time. It's just I had to switch to Air France, got the last seat on the plane, got my buddy and his son the last two seats on their plane. They're leaving half an hour early, but I had to leave 5 hours early. So luckily I was able to, but yeah, they didn't, I had to reschedule it. They just said, here, we can't help you. We're going to send your money back. So I had to call and rearrange it. And yeah, I was able to do it. But literally the last three seats, otherwise we would have minimum lost a day on our trip. So all good. All good. Hey, I was just worried that I was going to miss today's weather report, man. I just barely squeaked in. So that's all that matters.
Love it, love it, Ron. Please enjoy your vacation, man. Be safe. You are what's his name? NFT verse is filling your role. He is taking a work call right now. So don't worry, we're gonna hold it down for you. Be safe, have fun, and we look forward to all the stories of hiking and all that good shit when you get back. So we're gonna hold it down for you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Sir. Let's keep the show moving right along to tackle this last half hour that we do have. Let's go right along over to another legend, Gary Palmer Jr. Gary, the stage is yours, brother.
GM. Buenos dias. Good morning. I need to learn every single way, right? I mean, this is where we are now. This is what we got to do. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how much you guys know about me? I've shared a little bit about me. I work. I'll share with you. I've said it before. I work in marketing technology. I do marketing technology as a living, and I work for like Fortune 1000, Fortune 100 companies. I also work for small businesses. I have a marketing technology business with my wife, my partner, who some of you know. And but then I do hold a day job, right? Kind of like a high level, and I'm able to like do really cool shit. And that's like one of the reasons why in the very beginning it's like really hard when everyone's doing the name squatting, right? Because I've was in high school and .coms sort of were really popular, and I saw domain squatting. I saw it all happen, and I'm a domainer, and I see what the rules are, and I hang out with the people who what do they do? They do domain name arbitration. Those folks, those old school domainers, they're inside Clubhouse a lot. And I'm still a part of Clubhouse. I have a Clubhouse event coming up. It's gonna be really cool. But I bring all this up because it's important for people to know that enterprise companies, big companies work differently, right? They're not just going to like buy names, and even when they want to buy a name, they can't just like. It's really hard for them to get the money. It's really hard for them to do all the convincing. It's not just like a small business with a couple people. There's like lawyers have to get involved, and financial people that need to get involved, and there's just a lot of like care that goes into that situation. And it's like a really big ship. It's like the Titanic, or a large. You can't just like stop a very large boat. You can't just like turn a large boat around. You have to. It takes a while when you have a large enterprise organization. And the reason I bring all this up is because I am really frustrated with the bots on Twitter and with the anti NFT crowd, the ones that say death to NFTs and whatnot. And what's happening is that like there's this band that I like from my hometown Rochester. They got kind of popular. Their name is Joywave. You might have heard of them. And Joywave, they like did this retweet of their friend's NFT project, and they were so viciously attacked that they had to remove that tweet. And I'm people that know me know that I'm sort of very cautious about you know organizations getting involved in Web3, and those organizations trying to re-centralize or remove centralization or not understand the ethos of what's important to us, who have been building this industry. But on the inverse of that, there's a lot of organizations that are getting involved in Web3 and crypto, and they do understand the ethos, right? And with my understanding of the world, like I'm okay that there's multiple chains in the world. Like I'm happy that there's Bitcoin chain and Ethereum chain and chains that are actually working. There's like enterprise private blockchains, but they're interoperable with Ethereum. Not Solana. I don't like Solana at all. So just throw that on whoever's listening. But but they care about the decentralization, right? And that means they care about ENS. And now what's happening is that there's more companies getting involved in Web3, and we want them involved, right? In Web3, we want them to do signing with Ethereum, EIP 4361. login.xyz. We want them to do all this stuff and to, start incorporating Ethereum and incorporate signing with Ethereum and incorporate ENS names. And so when companies come out like IHOP, which you may or may not love if you need somewhere to drink coffee on a late night, get a burger or some pancakes. There's local places, right? I would probably go to a local place if it was open, but IHOP and Denny's is near and dear to my heart. The point is, though, is that when you jump into the comments section, like of like this IHOP or some big corporation, it's filled with haters, and that's like really difficult for the people who are managing the social media accounts, and then they have to take that information and fly it up the pipeline to like their managers to be like, oh yeah, these tweets did really bad, like it's all like hate, and there's like this one person that loves us or something. And we need to sort of be like encouraging of this. And so I on a light note, I would just encourage people to go check out the IHOP tweet and maybe like it or say something cool or like fucking attack it in a way that's meaningful and awesome, where they go back to their boss and are like, holy shit, these NFT people, they see us and they love us, and we have great engagement, just like we've done for Budweiser, and just like we've done for White Castle, and just like we've done for a lot of these other major brands getting involved. Because it's just like boils my blood how because it seems like they're bots. I don't know how, maybe it's just bots, and I don't know. It's not all bots. It's something that we need to work on, because then what's going to happen? They're going to buy their ENS name. They're going to be dropping NFTs. They're going to have signed with Ethereum. It's like other people are going to start getting NFTs from like NFTs are going to be everywhere, right? There's going to be so many NFTs in the future. It's going to be like, you're going to show up to class and get an NFT. You're going to show up to work and get an NFT. Like every day you show up to work, you get an NFT, and then you get an NFT at the end of the year if you like got all those NFTs. It's going to be super crazy. But it's all repeating. It's all repeating. And so there's this really funny video. Go check it out. I pinned it up to the top. I pinned the IHOP thing and everything I talk about. I pinned this video thing. It's Sarah what's her name? Sarah Silverman. I'm probably getting her name wrong. I should know that. But she's just talking about 9/11 and her frustration. And so she has this really funny joke about how, like, the way that she expressed her frustration was going to buy Osama bin Laden.com. And it's just a really funny joke. And she says, like, what is he going to do? Go be Osama1.com? And it's just so funny because it's the exact same conversation. It's like they were making jokes about early technology in the 90s or 2000s, 90s, and now it's all repeating again. And so it's really fun to watch that and to see that all happening. Right. I got another video on my timeline, with like Steve Jobs talking about the same thing, about like the free for all of the internet and how there's so much innovation because anybody can just do anything. It's really amazing. On a couple last things to wrap this up on a security side, I want everyone to know that it is possible to have an exploit on your wallet with a gasless transaction. So a lot of us were feeling that those were safe, the gasless transactions. It's like, oh, I'm not like, what am I doing? I'm not doing a transaction where I have to pay money. And so I'm just signing it. So, I'm sort of safe, but it turns out you still need to be careful. You could be signing a signless transaction. And you can go check out, that thread from quit q00t.eth 0x quit. And last thing, I mentioned earlier that I do Clubhouse, and I did some Clubhouse, and I got some people on Clubhouse, and so there's gonna be a Clubhouse event tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, Friday, October 7th. I'm gonna be doing a room over there, talking to a lot of traditional domain name people who are very, very traditional domainers, .com domainers, hardcore domainers. They probably own, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of domain names collectively, and probably hundreds of thousands. And we're going to be talking about metaverse names. We're going to be, Domain King hopefully will show up, trying to show him the value, how, what does ENS mean? ENS means that every single .com name in the world is an ENS name. ENS means that every ICANN name is an ENS name, and ENS means that .eth is an ENS name. The .eth is the only one that's truly decentralized and, has immutable ownership. But for people in the traditional space, and someone was just talking about this recently, but the fact that we're building with each other and we're not leaving anybody behind, is like a really strong and powerful aspect of what we're doing. Like these projects that just it's not like we're asking permission to do things, but we're not purposefully excluding anybody. Like in ENS, right? It's like everybody's allowed to be a part of what we're doing. We want everybody to be a part of what we're doing. So much so that even the traditional namespace, we wanted to make sure that there was no conflicts, so that there would be no names colliding. There's a little chance as that is possible. And that everybody's going to have a voice. And so I'm super excited, as always. Thanks, everybody.
Love it. Thank you. That was good, especially for the security parts. And I didn't know IHOP was. This is what we mean by mass adoption. That's great to see IHOP hopping into the world of Web3. So
I'll just chime in there real quick. I don't know if anybody can still hear me, but I'm just driving right now. Really love what you just said there, Gary. I think, nobody getting left behind.
Can you guys not hear me?
Something we should all focus on.
I
sure.
can hear you.
I can hear you,
It should be about
Kev.
inclusivity, not exclusivity.
Hold on, wait a second.
Ethereum, .eth, there's enough.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, E-Money, but I wasn't done speaking. E-Money, can you throw an emoji if you could hear me? I don't think you can hear me. It's kind of crazy. It's Twitter rugging again. Twitter's rugging again, but I'm going to unmute. But I really don't think he could hear me. E-Money, can you throw an emoji if you could hear me? That's interesting. Cool.
That does happen all the time, Kev, where people who are on stage, they stop being able to hear people. They have to drop down and come back up.
But can you tell him to drop down and come back up? Because I think he could hear you, but not me.
But if you can hear me,
E-Money, if you can hear me, can you drop? I must have heard.
Yep, there we go. All good. That was funny. Let's keep the show moving right along as we wait for E-Money to come back up. We have Shipper Fools. Welcome to ENS Updates. The stage is yours. Either Shipper Fools is trying to rush to get back to their phone real quick, or maybe they can't hear me. But in the meantime, we'll go over to Braylon. Braylon, welcome back. Welcome to the stage. How you doing?
I was running back to my phone. What's up, bro?
All good, man. How you doing today?
Man, fantastic. I'm over here chilling at the tattoo shop, just watching some art being made.
Nice, nice. Braylon, did you have any questions, comments, anxieties, frustrations that you kind of wanted to bring up to today's episode?
Actually, I'm just enjoying the conversation. I don't want to add too much in. I got a lot of noise in the background, but please, y'all just keep going. I'm definitely enjoying the conversation.
Nice. I appreciate it, Braylon. All good, man. We'll keep it moving right along here. We have ENS Punks. Punks, how you doing
Appreciate you,
today?
Kev.
Yo, GM Kev, Ron making it from the airport, amazing. Master always doing the damn thing all the way from China on that VPN. And then all the speakers, listeners. I jumped up. Man, there's a dude in here with a blue check mark. I've noticed. I first spotted him in one of the actual ENS DAO spaces. And anytime I see a blue check mark without an ENS name, you know what Punks does. He registers that thing, and I've been noticing him in this space, and so I want to onboard him. So, I mean, my man, you read his profile, and it is very interesting. It looks like he works for MGM. He does sports betting analyst, and so I mean, look. ENS is full of degens, full of sports bettors. Look no further than our weather reporter. And yeah, we want the MGM sports betting analyst on board. So, my man, Chase Kitty, I got chasekitty.eth for you. You know, I just want to gift it to you. Hit ENS Punks up in the DMs, and, you know, let's get you rocking chasekitty.eth. And then on the backside, let's build that MGM metaverse because me, Ron 3402, we have a craps shootout that needs to happen. We need to see who the biggest craps degen is in the house. And you already know it's hotshooter.eth right here.
Love it, Punks. Punks is doing God's work. That's what Punks is doing. He goes in and he's onboarding people, and he's pushing the next generation of ENF. So Punks, much appreciated, brother. Let's give Punks some hearts and some claps. That is phenomenal work. And that's not the first time he did that, and I don't think it's going to be the last time he does that either. Gary, your hand is up. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I bought a couple names for a couple folks, and just to share what I think it, if you can, the next step, you go check out the ones in mine. I throw in an image, and the image on the ENS name, it just says, "Hey, this name is reserved for the namesake. You know who you are. DM me because I'm public and everyone can find me." But this way, when they go look up their name, in case they don't see it, you know what I mean? Or someone looks it up, they just see the avatar there, and they know, oh, I see very clearly what's the deal. Like Joywave, if you Google Joywave.eth.
Love it. Thank you, Gary. Let's go over to somebody who's been waiting very patiently, Mr. 121, Humble Saudi King. The stage is yours. All right.
Yo.
Okay, there we go. I thought you were another no-show, bro. I was about to lose it.
No. I've been waiting yesterday as well. Hi, Kev. Hi, Ron, Master, Sadaf. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for having me in. Yeah, I was sorry, just a bit of noise. Yeah, just wanted to kind of am I vlogging? Can you hear me? Hello?
Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to everyone in this space, especially to the hosts and co-hosts. Every day, whenever possible, I'm trying to tune in and listen. Amazing content, and every day something to learn, and stuff like that. Keep the good work. Okay. So someone was talking before. I'm sorry, I'm at work. I don't know who that was in regards to onboarding people, and which I'm kind of in the last couple of weeks, I'm trying to onboard as many friends, which are not familiar with anything related to crypto and stuff. I mean, they don't even know how to set up a MetaMask wallet, and it's a bit difficult. Sometimes, going with each and every one every time, explaining all the stuff. But I do remember that Yena's vision, I think, mentioned something about the possibility of buying domains using through Winter. If Sadaf is still here and could share some light on that, whether that is already implemented and stuff, because that would be really helpful for onboarding people that never done something like that before, and if you would allow me, I'd like to take advantage, Kev. If not, then let me know. I'd like to give a shout out to all the listeners and everybody in the space. If there is anyone holding a Mr. 999, hit me up, or any of the listeners, so that we can add you to our group, because we think we are creating now the first nickname club. So that would be great if we could kind of hang out together.
Hey, Saudi's King. Yeah, good question.
Hey.
Yes, we did just recently implement Winter into our page, so you can now shop using a credit card on any of the domains. In the future, you will also be able to register domains and stuff using a credit card. But for right now, it's just on secondary market. So Winter, for those of you guys that do not know, they're our strategic partnership that we actually just started this about a week ago. So it is live. You guys are welcome to go check it out, and you'll just see the button on any domain that says buy with Winter. My only note is just, again, be really careful. Don't overexpend, and just make wise decisions. Don't put yourself in a bad place.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Sadaf, and thank you, Kev.
No problem, Mr. 121. I'm curious. Have you guys? I guess you don't have to share this data statistics with us, but if you want to, has there been a good amount of people purchasing with credit cards?
That's a great question. I actually don't have those stats on hand, but I can say we're going to release some stats tomorrow during our update. We do our weekly spaces every Friday, but we're going to have some cool stats for you guys. We did just hit like a pretty big milestone, so we'll discuss all of that tomorrow in the space. But I will definitely ask and see what stats I can get specifically on the credit card stuff. So we can update you guys then too.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see those stats because I think it's such a paradigm shift, just a bit, right? Going from purchasing NFTs with ETH to credit cards. I'm very curious to see how much people is doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great question. And I do want to let everybody know that Vision doesn't collect a fee or anything for buying with a credit card. All you do is pay Winter's fees. Those are like completely standard, just credit card fees. But we, aren't collecting any fees on top of that. So it's a pretty cheap exchange, especially if you just don't have the liquidity on hand. And it's, I think, a very small price to pay for it. So.
Love it. Thank you, Sadaf. And Sadaf, can you tell us about the spaces that you have tomorrow, or if you have anything to pin to the top? That'll also be good.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be making the tweet probably as soon as we get off of this space, but we do host spaces on Fridays at noon Pacific or 3 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow's space is going to be an ENS Vision Jeopardy. So this is going to be our second time doing a game show style a game show style space. We're really excited about that. And basically, it'll just be bringing up a couple of people from the community, some of the listeners, and you guys are going to have an opportunity to win a prize. All of the questions are going to be based around ENS Vision, probably going to touch on some of the newer features that we released and the specificities of it. So, if you have any interest in playing, maybe brush up on some of the newer features so you're ready for that. And typically, we usually do half of the show would be updates, like stats, things like that. Zero actually handles all the stats. And then we'd like to bring somebody else up, somebody in the community, just to give an idea of what they're working on, get to know them a little bit better, shine some light, and give some roses out. But every 3 weeks or so, we like to do it once a month. We want to do a Jeopardy game just to keep it light and fun because it is a Friday. I know that the time slot is a little difficult for a lot of people since people are working on Fridays still, but we are talking about potentially shifting it to maybe a later time in the day. A majority of our users are in the States, so we want to make sure that we can get as many people in there for updates and stuff as possible. And they're always recorded for anybody that's outside the States or that can't make it because they're working or something. So it's kind of a new thing. I've been hosting spaces for months now, but for Vision, this is a new thing for them and for us. So we're really excited about it. And as always, if you guys have questions, comments, you're welcome to come up on stage and ask us. It's kind of a cool opportunity to just meet the team and ask anything specific that you have on your mind.
Love that. I will be in attendance. Look forward to that pin post or that post whenever you release it there. And I encourage all of you guys to follow Sadaf so you guys know when that space is coming up. My man NFTverse is back from the shackles of Web 2 and finally back in Web 3. NFTverse, man, how you doing today, bro?
Yeah, I had to drop down and take that IRL call, but I was wondering if Sadaf could repeat everything she covered when I was gone. Is there any way to do that, Sadaf? I'm just kidding, Sadaf. No, I see Ron's back up. I'm back on the bench again. Ron, thanks for tapping in, bro. We appreciate it. We know you're kind of getting ready to travel and everything like that, but I just want to give Sadaf a hard time. Appreciate it, Kev.
All good, all good. Let's go over. I'm happy to have you back, man. We have to work on getting Versa sponsorship, so maybe he could leave the shackles of Web 2. JK, if you guys, that I'm just joking, right? You need a job to fund your dreams. You need a job to fund your dreams. Versa always says it. There's nothing wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with grinding it out. Grind it out until you don't have to anymore. So it's all jokes. But let's go over to Flex. Flex, man, the stage is yours, brother. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it every day. I appreciate listening to you guys. You learn a lot of stuff. No, I just wanted to chime in there real quick. And I'm listening to everybody and I'm listening to everybody's ideas and everybody's strategies. And it's impressive, man. It's impressive. When Mr. 121 came up, and he was talking about the Mr. Club. I have Mr. 972.eth, and that Mr. 999 Club, it's just another way to show the community is building and the community is putting together their clubs and that they're getting their networks and their resources together to build together. So I'm just really stoked. I'm just really stoked to see all the different communities that are within ENS. Like, I understand that ENS is one community, but it's kind of cool how we all break off into our own little clubs in the ENS community. You know what I mean? And then network from that point on to reach out to each other, help each other, build off top of each other. Like, dude, I just can't say enough about the community as a whole. So that's kind of where I just wanted to step in today. Give mad shout outs to Bloom, give mad shout outs to Domain Plug, to ENS Maxis, to 00. I mean, all these guys are, they're leading the way. I mean, this is it's the revolution, man. It's the ENS revolution, man. We're coming in hard. We are coming in hard, each and every one of us. So I just want to give a big shout out to the entire community as a whole today. And yeah, a little plug for myself. Make sure that you guys tune in on Tuesday to the Shark Tank. This week we will be doing it live from Las Vegas. We've got Stephen Miller, Fireball, and -4, myself, all flying out to Las Vegas this week. Mr. Wonderful himself from the Shark Tank will be there on Wednesday at 9 a.m. So I'm going to try to muscle my way in there and get that Q&A. Because if I can get into that Q&A, you guys know I have a big mouth. We're on board and a shit ton of people. Thank you for having me, Kev.
Is that going to be on YouTube? This Mr. Wonderful thing?
I'm not sure if it's going to be on YouTube. I just know that his time slot is at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. So I'm not even really sure what his thing is talking about.
Can 515 get a camera out there and live stream it through his YouTube? That'd be good for your YouTube.
Yeah, you guys fly me out to Vegas.
Don't get arrested, Flexer, please.
Come on, man. Here's the funny part is that where you live to Vegas, it is so cheap. Like you live in the city that's the cheapest to fly in the whole country. You can get to Vegas for what? $59 a round trip, man. We can get you to Vegas. I'm sure we can get you to Vegas, man.
Oh man, that is hilarious. Now, but look, there's one thing I know is that this is one thing. One, let's take NFT's verse. Don't get arrested harassing Mr. I don't know. That's number one. But number two, on a positive note, I know for a fact, Flexer is going to onboard probably everybody at that conference, right? I know for a fact Flexer is going to do God's work. He's going to go to everybody, and probably everybody at that conference is going to know what the hell a .eth is with Flex in the building. So I look forward to hearing about those stories, but stay safe, bro. If you guys could pull off this Mr. Wonderful thing, man, you guys would be fucking legends, bro. So I'm praying, I'm rooting for y'all.
Hey, kid.
Golden Bezos could be Golden Wonderful for all we know.
Hey, Kev, real quick, Flexer was talking about all the groups that are being built out here in the ENS community. I just Googled a stat real quick, a Facebook stat. So I want to share it with the community so you can kind of understand the level that this thing could really grow to at some point in time. So I Googled how many groups are on Facebook, right? And the stat came back at 10 million groups are on Facebook. This is as of February 2021. As of February 2021, over 10 million groups were on Facebook with over 1.8 billion people using them each month. There are 70 million admins and moderators running active Facebook groups. Is that not mind-blowing?
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely amazing? Think about it. And think about the groups that Facebook has. Those are like, their marketplace groups, their garage sale groups, local charities and local, events, things like that. And each and every one of us every day are minting absolute grail names that are like that. So you've hit it right on the head, brother. You've hit it right on the head to even do that stat. That was so brilliant of you, 5159 or Verse, whoever the hell's doing that. That was a cool stat, because if you're pulling people my age are leaving Facebook for Twitter for this particular reason, because of crypto, and because this crypto Twitter or whatever y'all call it. But a lot of people are leaving Facebook to come to this platform. It's funner. It's funner over here. It's more engaging over here. Facebook's dead in my book. Sorry for all you people that love it.
No, all good, all good. Facebook could go and burn underneath. We'll keep it moving on. Let's go over to NY718, been waiting very patiently. Then we'll go over to Eyeball here.
Hey guys, can everybody hear me? Some speakers I couldn't hear, so I just wonder, am I coming in loud and clear?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I had a quick story and a lesson for more so newer guys in this space. I saw Daniel and Leo that they were doing their auction that's tonight, and there were these big bids on GigaChat. I had no idea what a GigaChat was. I started doing some research and then started looking up some Giga alternatives. I ended up registering Giga King last week. So registered it and let it sit there. 2 days later, I get an offer on it. I don't accept the offer. The next day, a guy jumps into my Twitter inbox and he's asking about trading two ENS maxis for the domain. And I'm like, I really don't want to do a trade. I'm willing to sell it. He says, okay, no problem. He comes back the next day and, because I have New York 718, he's like, okay, I'm going to throw in some random New York name along with two ENS maxis. I said, let me go check this guy out. I go to his wallet, massive whale, has over 1,000 domains, well over 200 ENS maxis. I just stopped counting, and here you go. You want to trade me and you don't just want to purchase it when, I think I had it priced at a reasonable price and I feel it's a really dope name, Grailish to me, and he pointed out to me that, hey, you just minted this last week, and I just thought about it that, I've been doing this for about a year. Had this been last year, that psychological thing he was trying to do may have worked. So, my point is I just wanted to tell this story. And for newer people in the space, to me, I don't think it matters if you register something that morning. The value is the value, and I just told him, like, all right, if I'm going to trade, it needs to be equal value to what I think, is valuated at, not two ENS maxis and some random New York name and, trying to make me feel like it's not valuable because I only minted it last week. I thought was, I get the tactic of it, but a newer person might have went for it. And the me last year probably would have went for it. And that's all I wanted to say.
So I want to say a couple of things. One, congrats on the name. I think that is a cool name. Um, but I don't know, you're kind of echoing a little bit. But I would say this: if you believe your name holds value, then your name holds value, right? You don't fall into psychological tricks or whatever somebody's trying to get you to give your name up. But hold your name. If you think it holds value, hold your name, hodl your name, and for the long run, right? So I appreciate the story. There's many, people who's gonna probably trying to come sweep your names, negotiate your name. So um all good, all good. Thank you for sharing that story. Let's go over to OX Wizard of Oz. The stage is yours.
Oh my. Buenos dias, mi gente. How are we doing today? Spicy, I hope. I know that we brought the spice today. We like to have some really spicy conversations about etiquette and domains and language and people's positions. But anyway, I came up to respond to Malfico and to talk to you guys about some of this were early talk that he was talking about. That's not early for me. Like we have a completely and totally decentralized Web3 sponsorship ad and utility type of solution for NFTs. And I I have a video in my profile somewhere around there that shows kind of how it works. I posted it in the chat. We have uh, literally a project out there where we're using uh, ENS to name each one of the pairs of sneakers and the backends for that, and the NFTs that come off of that are all tied to what everybody's been talking about for the last like 6 months. It's actually technology in motion, right? Dynamic NFTs using ENS as a foundational technology to make sure that we can deliver dope ass applications like making your IRL speakers appear in Ready Player Me, right? Things that people have been talking about, build my metaverse stuff for months and months and months now. Now the tech is starting to mature, and we actually have a viable. Hey, maybe this is the next freaking Google of Web3. I don't know. I'd like that. I mean, that would be a couple of ENS domains. I'd probably buy myself a 99 keycap emoji at that point, you know. But that's what we have. And I wanted to come up to tell Malfico because I listen to him every time he comes up anywhere, and I love that. As an academic, he dives in and looks at things and reads the papers. And I have a real live, piece of technology here, and I'm a serial entrepreneur, and this is my third ad network play. So I know a little bit about some of this stuff, and I really really love to show him the inside of it as an academic. But none of you other guys. I just came up to talk to him. Anyway, good morning. Buenos dias.
Yeah, yeah. Mafigo does a great job. Unfortunately, I think he left the room. I was just kind of scrolling in. Yeah, I think he left the room a little bit earlier. But yeah, I will relay the message to him. He does a great job. He does a great job speaking, and I love the approach he brings to the space. So I couldn't agree with you more, OX Wizard. And shout out to what you're doing and what you're building as well, brother. Um, let's go over to our anchor leg of the day. Anchor leg. This will be our last speaker of the day. NFL champion. Welcome to the stage, brother. How you doing today?
What's up, Kev? What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to come in and Flexer. I've been debating or not if I wanted to go to Vegas. Steven was kind enough to get me a ticket. I got my hands full with a million different projects, but I feel like this is kind of an event, and I'm looking at it. I'm saying this is something that's going to really like put on. But if you're trying to, you want to do the 1-2 punch thing, we could like shake and bake this thing. Like I'm down to get Mr. Wonderful and nail him down because you seem like the go-getter type, bro. And I'll tell you right now, the hustle and the kid from Brooklyn at the end of the day is not going to relent either. So if you're down, I'm down, and I'll definitely come to Vegas and chill with you guys and like let's make this thing happen. What do you think?
Hey man, look here. I think just the fact that Matt Higgins committed himself to .eth, you know what I mean? I think it's a great segue. I think it's a great entry point. If I can get on the Q&A panel to ask him, first of all, how he feels about the 917 and the 713.eth purchase from his partner, Shark. I think it's a great segue to ask him, about ENS Maxis and about Domain Plug and about ENS Vision. And I can start throwing out a bunch of names until they shut me up, because that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to shut me up by the time they let me start. They're going to have to shut me up.
I got a secret weapon. I think I got a secret weapon that I'm going to fill you in on. And yeah, I think it can definitely work. But I do need if anybody has a promo code for an extra ticket to the event, obviously I don't have a problem flying out there, but like $900 for a ticket, that ain't no slouch. So if anybody's got a promo code that they can spare, hook me up. Thank you. Kev, I
I
appreciate
will
it,
throw
man.
this
Thank you,
out
bro.
there. I will throw this out there, and it's because, right? It's because we're a community, and it's because we all share and we all try to help each other. Do me a favor, NFL champion. I believe we can get you one of those tickets that you're asking for. DM Stephen Miller. DM Stephen Miller, and see if he can grab you a code,
Okay.
because it was courtesy of
Appreciate it.
Stephen Miller that got us our codes for the conference itself. We got, we didn't get the platinum passes, but we did get the $800 gold passes. So, Stephen might actually be able to help you with that. See if he has any more codes. And I do want to give a big shout out to the last gentleman that registered Giga King, because you just made me go left field. I just registered Giga Tommy, Giga Luke, Giga Steven, Giga Pete. I'm starting to register Giga first names. So thank you for the inspiration, brother. I like that Giga prefix. I think that might go somewhere.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our beautiful audience, our amazing speakers and panelists, this is it for ENS Updates. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, ENS Maxis, Crypto Slam, and Domain Plug. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. So if we have ENS Maxis and Crypto Slam on stage, please give them a follow. Please learn more about what they're doing, because what they're doing is helping build this community, and I think you could pay it forward to them. With that being said, Kev is out. I am not near my laptop right now to play some closing music, but I'll see you guys again tomorrow for Friday night happy hour pregame space. Peace.